Batman, Project Batman, Project Batman. Fuck yeah.
Project Batman, can you usually roll that off?
Okay, do we want to switch it up? I don't have to be the one to say it. Anyone can say it. I mean, you're always telling me to, and I'm happy to, but I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want to be the. You know what? Okay, let's go. Welcome to Project Batman.
What's going on, guys?
I'm Ken.
I'm Vincent.
I'm Sean.
And we're here again to talk to you.
Yes, we're here on Skype, so sorry if the audio quality isn't what you're used to when we normally have, like, we're all together in one spot. We've all been pretty busy in our lives lately, and so getting together, all three of us in one spot, has been a little difficult. But we wanted to have a recording out because the day that this is coming out will be 1 year since we announced that we were coming back, and Project Batman was we're making an audio drama instead of the movie. So we officially ended our hiatus and did that. That was 1 year ago. And
wow. The years just fly by when you can't produce a Batman movie.
We've had many years fly by since we've been unable to produce a Batman movie. So and what this update is we are so we wanted to give everybody an update because we've been kind of silent the last couple of months. As the world started to open back up, we've all started kind of doing things. Sean over here got married or some shit. We were there, as I recall. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on, but we figured we did want an update. We are not stopping. There's been a couple of things that we want to let you guys know about. Just full transparency as to things are taking a little bit longer than we planned, but they're still going. The big thing is voice acting. Turns out that we've got, I would say we have more than half of all of the dialogue in the entire thing recorded. We're really only we're waiting on Alex Walker-Smith to finish his Batman recording. He just got me some lines the other day. His stuff's going pretty well. And we've got the other characters to do.
I mean, he does have to fight crime at night and serve justice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is he is really busy doing that, so he doesn't have really a lot of time for editing and stuff like that. But no, we've been getting that slowly but surely, but it is taking a little longer than we had hoped. So that's one of the holdups. The other, so we've got that. We've got personal lives that we've just kind of been doing stuff now. Getting back into it was a little bit easier to focus 100% of my time on this when 100% of my time was stuck in the house not doing anything.
Yeah.
But now we're so we still are working on that. There's one other hitch that I think is going to add a lot of time to getting the project completed that I have a workaround for. But I wanted to talk about this with you guys first. So that's one of the things we're here to talk about.
Sean and I were not given a pamphlet for this recording. We're finding out stuff alongside you guys. So this is exciting.
Yeah. So one thing that I personally really wanted to have for Batman Immortal was a complete original soundtrack from scratch that'd be based on the existing themes, but it would be an original complete soundtrack album that we would have.
Yeah.
The thing is that I'm thinking that even that might be biting off a little more than we can chew. just because I've got a couple of other composers that have been wanting to work on this, but they're also like full-time composer. A lot of them are full-time composers that do this for a living. That's what Adam Mullen does. He does exclusively like music work. Now he's doing like a music summer camp. Some of the other people are like students in college, so they've had a lot on their plate. So what I'm thinking is that we might not do a completely original soundtrack. I think we might end up mixing in some things from the existing tracks from the animated series like we did for the table read. We'd still have some original stuff. We'd have like our Taking Flight and things, a couple of songs that we put in there for stuff where we can't find a thing. But like, for example, generic battle music when Batman and Ra's are fighting, there's hours and hours of that already written. And we would basically be rewriting that and just putting it in a different key. And so I feel like there's going to be, of the people that are going to listen to this, there's going to be a handful of like big music nerds like me that are just going to be like, oh, it's fucking really awesome that we did this soundtrack. But I think for the most people, like for the average person that's going to be listening to this, is not going to make that big a difference. So, and since I was the one that sort of suggested the original soundtrack anyways, I'm starting to think that if we want to get this thing done sooner rather than later, I'm thinking that that's one of the corners we might have to cut. Because like looking at, just looking at, and this is me kind of not really venting, but definitely like explaining the situation. I personally, have bitten off a lot more than I can chew, because I was doing, I'd be doing the soundtrack directing, so I'd be like, okay, so everyone needs to write this amount of music for this amount of time, on top of all of the editing, on top of any video editing, on top of this, on top of that, on top of coordinating voice actors. Most of that has been done on my end. So that, I think this is just one, like, I'm being stretched in like 8 different directions here. I'm thinking that's one direction I can sort of let go of, and we'll still have like some original soundtrack stuff, but we're thinking more of a like 10-15 minute original soundtrack as opposed to like an hour and a half of original music. I'm thinking that like, and the honest truth is that at the end of the day, it's not going to sound much different.
Right.
Like, it's not going to, I don't think it will diminish the sound of the final product at all. If anything, it'll make it sound a little bit better, because we'd be, just actual recorded stuff as opposed to, digital instruments. But that's just kind of like what I was thinking, is that maybe we do that. And I wouldn't be so worried about like, because like, for example, we did the table read, and that's exactly what we did for the first table read, was we just took animated series music and put it there.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was awesome. I mean, it's like I've gone back and listened to that, I think, in the definitely within the last year since we started this back up, and it sounds great. So I think that we'll talk to the composers that we have, and each have them write like one thing a piece, so
like a piece for one scene or something. Exactly.
And then we'll have like contributions, and then maybe I'll have, and we might even spice things up a little bit, like have, say for example, we'll take a piece that's already recorded from the animated series and maybe add a choir to it where it didn't have a choir before, so making an effectively revamped piece of music without writing an entire orchestral piece. Because one of the big problems is like listening to a song and then writing it down, every single part of it by ear, is a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I've done it. It's, I mean, like, just the music that I've personally written for Batman Immortal, each one of those pieces, a 3-minute piece takes weeks to write. And yeah, so it's one of those things like we'll spice up, we'll spruce up the music that we already have like recorded. We might have a couple of other extra pieces. We've definitely already got that trailer piece that's going to be the main theme for the whole thing. So that's what's going to play over the opening credits. And I think we can throw enough of a bone to the music nerds to have like some original music, but then for the vast majority of the thing, we can just use the existing animated series things, like all the soundtracks, the complete soundtrack. I'm talking every musical cue from every episode of the Batman the Animated Series is up on YouTube. It will not be hard to find pieces from that to fit. I mean, you're talking there's like 50 hours of music sitting there.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, we can
And
pick something out of that.
and even if we only had written even if you had only written and composed and recorded like one suite or something that was wholly original that we could point to and be like, hey, we did this on our own and that's in this, that would be impressive on its own. So
Absolutely.
I mean, not having
Like,
it for the whole thing, like I don't think anyone would mind, because like you said, the table, you mixed the music into that table read and it sounded awesome.
Yeah, it sounded
So I don't think
I'm-
anyone would mind. I just think whatever we don't have music for currently at the moment, I mean, we just find the music for the chicken dance and put it on a loop. And people love the chicken dance. It always gets people on their feet, flapping their wings. This time they'll be flapping their bat wings and enjoying the story the entire time.
I'm
Bat
loving
dance.
you're totally talking about doing the Seinfeld approach to the Batman music.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys are on board with that. I wanted to talk to you guys about that first before I actually message the composers, and I don't want to tell them they're fired. Like they're not. I mean, they're still all going to be doing something. We've gotten some stuff written already, so
Yeah.
it'll just be a matter of like, okay, put the final touches on it, and we'll work from there. So everyone who wanted to collaborate will have a chance to collaborate. But we're just gonna lighten the workload by like 90%.
Makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, at this point, full transparency to the listener, like I feel like it's probably pretty obvious, but just to spell it out, like the one doing most of the work of the three of us at this point is you, Otto. So like I'm short of you sending me some like audio of lines to like dissect and like figure out what the best readings are to use on it once we get more recorded or whatever, like I'm just here to give you a thumbs up. Like I other than being here for these recordings and being emotionally emphatic about every step of this process, I have not much to offer at this moment,
Yeah.
regardless. So I'm just excited for anything that makes it easier on you,
For sure.
and anything that gets us closer to this whole thing not weighing on us after 8 years of build up.
So yeah, that's good, and I will definitely do that. I've got to figure out how we can make that. I'm thinking, because we've got the We Are Project Batman Gmail account, and I think the Google Drive for that is mostly empty. So I could start uploading the recorded lines to that, and then dole that stuff out to you guys if you guys want to help me sort
Absolutely.
lines.
Yeah, love it.
I can come up with like an instruction thing as to how to do it.
Okay.
That'd just make it easy on my end to edit it.
Yeah.
But,
Sure.
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, I think I know how I could do that, because there's some things like, one thing that I did a lot was there's a lot of like character monologues, especially Ra's al Ghul, when I was sorting through his dialogue. There were a lot of times where I would end up like taking parts of one take and parts of another take, and parts of a lot of different takes, and slicing them all together and making like the best one out of that.
Mhm.
And I think that's something that I can convey well enough in terms of, hey, do this, and if you guys
Yeah.
can do that, then it'll be easier for me to slice together scenes, because that's a lot of work in itself, is just picking the takes.
The
Absolutely.
best things. Yeah, I mean that's that sort of thing is stuff you gotta like get coverage and shoot around when you're like doing visuals, but like that's so easy to like trick the audience as
Mm.
far with just doing audio,
Mhm.
because they're not seeing a visual cut to a different thing. Like it's just, if the words are cut off cleanly, then you can mix it into the ultimate speech or whatever.
Note to our audience: this is not us calling you gullible. But yeah, so that was the big thing that I wanted to talk about, was the music. And and also to tell our listeners that we are still working on it. We are like, this is still a thing that's being actively worked on. It's just taking a while. Like like at least on the three of our end, this is all work that's being done for free.
I mean,
A matter of fact, it's actually costing us money to do. Like paying voice actors and composers and stuff. Like that's a big thing. So like I said, we're not an actual production studio. We're just three guys who really love Batman, and we want to make an art project for you guys. But it's gonna take a little while, because we all have lives and stuff. But it is still happening. And the thing is, it's happening in stages. Like, I've been able to put out like a little sneak peek of, a couple of months ago, I put together a sneak peek of a scene from the audio drama to, for everybody to listen to. And I wanted to do more of those sneak peeks. The problem with that is that, like, we don't have the right voice recording done for it. Like, you'd need to have all of the characters in one particular scene recorded for that. And like, for example, like any scene involving Batman from the last third of the screenplay, we can't do that yet. We don't have anything for Superman recorded. That's one scene that I really wanted to do as a sneak peek, was like the United Nations. I think that'd be a great sneak peek. And
hashtag Cameron's our Superman.
that fucking voice. I left that in there. Like, that's fair. It's going in that thing. I've got we've definitely got like interest. It's just a matter of like assigning everything and telling everyone else who's recorded. Like, I've got most of the castings done. There's like all the main characters have been cast for a long time. There's just bit parts that need filled and other stuff. But yeah. So, anything you guys want to talk about?
Well, I have been pondering the meaning of life quite recently, and what I've arrived at is that I don't know. That's That's what I want to talk about. The knowing of not knowing. What say you, Sean?
I want to mention that, yeah, the project's been going on for 8 years, but I want to say that if I remember 8 years ago versions of us, we look better.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure, we
Sure.
look better.
Ken, I think you've gotten a haircut since the wedding. I remember your hair being really long at the wedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when we started, my hair used to be down on my ass when I was.
Yeah,
Now it's fallen out and is mostly on my ass.
Yeah, but by any listeners enabling us, you have caused Vincent's hair to fall out. um, but no, I mean, we started this with the idea for the podcast, so we're obviously. I don't want to use the word obligated to use the to do the podcast because that sounds like we're not happy and willing to do it.
Right.
But anyone who, whether they're a newer listener or a classic, what do we call our fans? Progies.
We have never called them that, nor do I think we should.
Our little proges out there. They all know that this is all coming in stages, but I think the updates are appreciated. Like it's we're too far into this to not produce something at the end of it. So if everyone just remains patient and enjoys the updates when we can do them, eventually you're gonna get something, and that's okay. That's good. Like
Absolutely.
we're here living our lives. That's why there's been less updates and less progress, and everyone else out there is living their lives too. And one day we'll be able to deliver a Batman audio drama for them to enjoy and share, and it'll all have been worth it.
I agree. And yeah, that was what started the whole, because the podcast is now Project Batman Reborn. We've been calling it that, I think, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And yeah, so it's yeah, like I love doing the podcast. Even like there's my computer just went to screensaver. So
Acronym for our show, really PBR.
all right. Well, thanks for tuning in to the final episode of Project Batman Reborn. We are your late hosts. But yeah, I love doing the podcast even when there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, this all started because we like goofing around more than anything.
Yeah, I don't know how many of the episodes. I think there's literally an episode called "Do We Even Talk About Batman" in this one? I think it's mostly just us talking about Star Wars.
That sounds par for the course. I would believe that.
But yeah, so we are doing things, and there haven't been a lot of like updates up to this point, just because like things have been going along slowly, but there hasn't been anything substantial. Like, hey, we've got a couple more voice lines recorded. Hey, we got a couple more voice lines recorded. We're not going to tweet that every single time it happens. It's happening little by little. It's like, I'm getting every week or two, I'm just getting another little snippet as people are able to finish it, and so that's part of that. And yeah, it's like, but definitely this project is a focus of ours. It is not our sole focus, but it is our focus. Like, we've all got lives and jobs and stuff, but we want to have something. And we have been deliberately vague about any sort of release date.
Yeah.
Up to this point, because things are unpredictable. But I will say a hope of mine is that we can get this done by the end of the year.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think, I think at the pace that we're going now, and taking the soundtrack thing off the table, I feel like doing the whole complete original soundtrack, that would just automatically add another year to what we're doing.
Mhm.
I didn't realize how much work that was going to be, even split up among a couple of people.
I mean,
Right.
composing for people who that's their only job full time, it still takes a long fucking time for them to even do that. So asking any of us to do it in our free time is just that's a lot.
Yeah. But I think, factoring that in, I think that it is quite possible that we can get this done by the end of the year.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I mark that is not a promise. Things happen, who knows, but that's what I'm hoping for and what I'm thinking we might be able to pull off.
Oh yeah. And
I'm telling you, I'm at home. My house is welcome.
what?
I'm on the phone call. Yeah, welcome. I'm actually on a Skype call with Otto and Ken. This is Bobby. Say hi.
Hey,
What up,
Bobby.
Bobby?
Who said hi?
Thank God. I was worried what
Yeah.
his response would be.
He also said, "Screw you guys."
Perhaps the real Batman Immortal are the episodes we recorded along the way.
Wasn't that the point we tried to make in our like swan song for the first, like, when we finally like retired the project the first time, was just like, yeah, no, this whole thing failed, but the podcast was fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's gonna live on. Like the final product will be amazing, but there's gonna be way more hours recorded of this for people to enjoy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have not yet sat down and like re-listened to everything. But that is something that I definitely want to do at some point, is just go back to the beginning. I think both of you guys have done it, right? I know
Yeah.
Sean has.
Yeah.
No, I have not. And I honestly like I took So Let's Get to the Point down, like my original podcast. Like it's that actual feed is the feed for pushing the button, because I didn't want to start a new feed and have to pay for that. So but going back and trying to listen to some old So Let's Get to the Point, since that started in like 2012, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm like 8-9 years older than that now, and that dude hosting those episodes just sounded like a fucking idiot anytime I tried to go back to it. So it's like, it's almost embarrassing to have to listen to your younger self, but hopefully with enough remove, especially once this is all done, I'll be able to listen to it and hear it all as one epic picture that transcends time. It'll take 2 VHS tapes with an intermission that you create yourself by rewinding and changing them out for you to get the whole perspective of what Project Batman Immortal Reborn ended up being.
Yeah, I gotta say, we might end up getting a world record for most behind the scenes material to finished project ratio
Ever, yeah.
ever.
I mean, that's a
here's
pretty cool accomplishment.
Absolutely.
here's 8 or 9 years worth of podcasting for a 90-minute audio drama.
Regular fucking Stanley Kubrick's over here.
For sure.
Hey, maybe we could get Spielberg to finish this. He's into that.
Oh, he is.
That fucking guy that commented that shit on our YouTube is just like, if you guys really cared about this, you'd sell your screenplay to Paul Dini and have him make it. And I'm like, I don't think you know how that works.
I mean, I would love to figure that out.
Absolutely.
And have him make it, quote unquote, is like such a lack of understanding that it's like, yeah, Paul just like waves his arm and it's animated. That's what a studio is, right? You just like point and snap and then you have a cartoon. We just happen to lack those magical abilities.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I remember after we announced our Reborn, that was like a year ago, and this dude had like this vicious comment, and I hate him.
I love that we're still talking about him now.
Yeah, I love him. He's a recurring segment on our show.
Yeah.
He's the fourth host. The silent triplet in the quartet.
Good old douchebag McGee. Douchebag McGee, the fourth host. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna put his name on the poster real quick.
Yes, it's special thanks to executive producer douchebag McGee.
This is all for you, bud.
I'm gonna remember that. Watch me put that in the actual special thanks at the end of the audio drama. Because there will be that, because there are people who need thanked.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be like a pretty
Like
solid end of the thing is just reading off names of people who helped us out, even indirectly. Definitely want to be like Film Crit Hulk would definitely get a thanks on there for sure.
Yeah, he's one of the 3 special thanks in the one movie I made years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know people make money doing that now. Is some people's Patreon feed is just releasing episodes where they read off the names of their patrons. And we're going to do that for everyone who helped us out for free. We are giving fucking artists.
We have never once and will never request money from you guys for this crap, because I'm pretty sure, because if we did, we would have DC's lawyers on us in a heartbeat.
And also because, I mean, I'd just sit around and joke with you guys for free anyway, so whatever.
Exactly. I mean, this is pretty good cathartic hanging out anyways, but yeah. I think that's all I had to say on the Batman stuff. I think we're still working on it. It can be a little less music now, hopefully by the end of the year. Any other major points that I want to make?
We hope you guys liked the Batman Immortal nod in Space Jam: A New Legacy, where Superman and Batman show up. That was totally for you guys from us. There was definitely a reference to this project alone and nothing else. Like, you might have seen it another way, but we really went out of our way to get those guys in that movie for you. So you're welcome.
That's a movie.
Yeah, honestly, that was. They actually almost called it Space Jam 2 Batman Immortal. But those damn studio execs.
Space Jam and Immortal Legacy. Well, that sounds like a threat way more than something exciting.
Yeah, it's just like now we're gonna have a lot more of those. I was at the store today and I saw a lot of Space Jam toys for sale that were like, here's a LeBron James Stretch Armstrong, and here's LeBron James with a basketball sledgehammer, and here's LeBron James with a jetpack, and they're very, to their credit, I will give them this, their toy line is definitely capturing the 90s toy aesthetic.
Oh,
everything
cool.
Everything fires missiles, everything launches stuff. There's always an action feature, and so if they're trying to get people on that nostalgia, I do have to watch that at some point.
You don't.
Do I not? No,
I mean,
I think we started talking about that right before we started recording, and I didn't get to, apparently I cut us off before we got to your verdict on the film.
Oh, I mean, I was just happy to be able to take my mom to see it. I mean, she took me to see the original. You know, she's single now, so we got to recapture some of the original magic.
I'm gonna quote it with the best review I've ever heard for a movie. The Regal has Mountain Dew now.
Thank you, Sean. That's a nice callback.
Best review I've ever heard.
I just remember everyone being fucking pissed off because they decided to desexualize Lila Bunny, except for, all right, 1, ew. 2, the fuck is wrong with you people? 3, the thing that everyone was pissed about was that Lola Bunny looked the same as she did in the first movie. What they were pissed about was that she didn't look like all the fucking 20 years of nasty fan art that people have been drawing of her.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they're pissed about the desexualization
Of a cartoon rabbit.
Well, which is weird because, like, you know, we all love the original Space Jam, and when you take out the sexualization of Lola Bunny, at least there's so much more of a character there for them to draw on for Space Jam 2. You know, like there were so many meaningful arcs and moments for Lola, other than saying "Don't call me doll" and Bugs Bunny literally getting hard at the side of her. Like she really had a great, fully developed arc, and I'm really glad they can continue that in Space Jam: A New Legacy by giving her lines like, "Come on, LeBron. Way to go, Bugs." You know, they really just like found a new chapter to dig into of characterization for us to continue to love Lola Bunny after all these years.
Yeah, it's definitely a character piece, that's for sure.
And I don't know how Zendaya pulled it off, and so lucky they got her because if they'd have gotten just a rando, like I would not have been sold on pass it over here, Daffy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I got bits. The long it is 1 in the morning. The longer you guys want to talk, the more bullshit I'll say.
I miss you guys. We should get together again soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find some time to like actually hang out in person soon.
The worst month for my store just ended because the end of July was our inventory where we had to count everything. So I had 2 days off this month.
Whoa.
That
Whoa.
fucking sucks.
It was the
Fuck
worst
Walmart.
month of my life. So now I'm gonna have more free time again. If you guys ever want to do something.
Oh yeah, I've got ton of concerts through the rest of the year, but when there's a gap between concerts and work, I will make that borough trip.
Okay.
We will drink PBRs in honor of our show.
All right, this sounds.
And
dumb.
maybe,
But have you
and
guys
maybe not
tried
getting
PBR coffee?
What?
I've heard about it and it sounded bad.
The PBR coffee, the new coffee bean, it's fucking great.
Whoa.
It tastes incredible and I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I shouldn't. It sounds gross. I didn't even want to try it when I tried it, but then I tried it and I was like, this is amazing.
Well, I'm sold. I mean, I'm sold on PBR as it is, and I love coffee. So you combine two great things that I love.
I mean, do you guys like the Starbucks Frappuccinos at Walmart?
No.
Nice bottles.
Yeah, I've had them.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
Huh.
Interesting.
Like it's dangerous.
Two great tastes that taste dangerous together.
Is it? So wait, is it like? Does it have alcohol in it? It's like it's like alcoholic coffee.
Yeah.
So you can see. So you're basically mixing uppers and downers. You can basically fucking speedball yourself.
Oh, it's definitely Buzz Beer from the Drew Carey Show.
What a pull. I'm really surprised they didn't drink that at halftime in Space Jam: A New Legacy. I think Warner Brothers owns it.
Oh my God, you're right. They definitely do.
All we gotta do is make sure that next time we drink beer together, we don't get fucking yelled at for it.
Oh, true. We Vincent and I got shamed at Sean's wedding.
You guys got shamed?
Oh, did we
Yeah.
not tell you about this?
I heard about it from because you guys weren't the only ones.
Oh, good.
My aunt and uncle went out to their car and proceeded to pull out from a cooler, and security found them.
we
Oh,
we
man.
just
Well,
got yelled at by a mom.
yeah, we
Okay.
got. I think it was Whitney. Whitney came up and like freaking chewed us out for drinking. We didn't know. And for the record, if it's a dry wedding, that should be on the wedding invitation. We should know about that in advance because that was how we found out was that we got yelled at by someone for
So
for
the only
drinking
reason
beer.
I didn't put it on there is because it was at a Frontier Culture Museum, which is a state park.
Sean, we're idiots. We've talked about how many hours we've talked endlessly, and you don't know how much of an idiot I am. Also, I think a little girl told on us, and then the Whitney yelled at us.
I remember that. Yeah. It was a little girl came up and
little?
then one
She's-
of the kids and was just like, I think she came up to it after. It's like, did y'all get in trouble? I'm sorry, I wouldn't have said anything if y'all had got in trouble.
Oh my!
I'm just like, fuck. I didn't know. I didn't know we were going from a wedding straight to a funeral.
That girl is clearly not a Batman fan.
Vigilante justice.
Yeah, no, she was bringing Joker chaos.
Man, I am so glad I got to meet your girlfriend. By the way, she is super sweet.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, she's super cool.
Yeah, she's the best. I mean, this show has already heard me go through a divorce. I'll never get married again, but she'll stick around a while.
I said that too, Ken. Watch yourself.
He did say that. I'm pretty sure he said that on air.
That's the reason to go back through the tapes.
Like, as part of legal proceedings, some fucking poor FBI is gonna have to listen to us. Listen to the entire podcast because there's some sort of evidence in there that is now coming up in an upcoming, like, it's like, can you get divorced before the wedding? That sort of case.
or even just as an anniversary gift, Sean, just be like, look, babe, I found these 10 seconds where I said I'd never get married again on the record, and now there's a public record that that's not true. So
I told
clearly,
her
like,
on our first date.
hell yeah, I've done that too. Yeah. Good job, everyone.
Yeah, good job. I miss you guys.
Fuck
You
yeah,
too.
we're have to like I said, we're have to all get together soon. I'm thinking what we do is we dig a secret underground tunnel that, like, just we can build like a really fast bullet train under there that only we can use to, like, visit each other way faster.
Wait, Otto, did you just invent the Underground Railroad?
I don't know if this is going to be anywhere near as historically important as the Underground Railroad. I feel like that's probably not the parallel we want to go for. But sure.
Hey, let's see Suicide Squad next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not?
Next like Friday or something.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
I'll look at my schedule and see what's up.
Okay. Just throwing it out there. Since we're at the point of this episode where people are just listening to us hang out without an agenda.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, there have been several episodes of just that.
Yeah.
I've got to play more Smash Brothers with you guys.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm down.
That was fun as hell.
Yeah, that was
Even with your ridiculous fucking amiibos, Otto.
Oh god.
Do you have the Pikachu right there with you?
Yes. Hold on.
You gotta show that fucking thing.
If you're listening to this as the audio version, you're not going to be able to experience the full effect. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop a bunch of stuff everywhere and then die. But yes, here are some of my amiibos. Here's Pikachu.
That is
He is swole as fuck. and then of course, one of my very favorites, Kirby. Look at his face. Does this look like the face of Mercy to you?
it looks like Kirby inhaled Geodude.
Yeah,
Kinda, yeah. It's but he's walking around on the fucking anchor arms from SpongeBob.
And it looks like a little like sexy Squidward.
Okay, so there actually was one. I have not printed that out yet, but there actually is one that is explicitly like it is handsome Squidward, but as Kirby. So it's literally just his head, like with feet and then arms coming out of it.
That's
and
fun.
It is
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that there is no shortage of like I don't know how they managed to take Kirby, who was a small, cute little, like straight up placeholder character. He was not meant to be the final design, but he was so cute that everyone loved him, and he was just like, okay, we're just gonna make that the character. And then slowly that developed into one of the most cursed like crossover characters in all of fiction.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like Kirby is so unbelievably cursed depending on what he inhales or depending on the whim of whatever fan artist has decided to ruin him for everyone.
Wait, that's really interesting. I didn't know that. He was a placeholder. Like he wasn't fully designed. And then who he is ends up looking like other characters. That's like a weird, like ongoing thing. Like
Yeah, it's super meta.
Yeah. It feels like they stumbled into greatness there. Which is what you all are doing by listening to this podcast.
But yeah, I'm thinking we can probably go ahead and wrap up this episode. I think there's about 20 minutes of useful information in this 50 minutes of recording. I think we can do something with that.
I think so.
Yeah. Are you gonna post this episode, Vincent?
Yeah, I'll send you the audio version of it, and you can put it on wherever the podcast goes, and I'll post this to the YouTube channel.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna fall asleep to Back to the Future Part 2.
Hey, right on.
Hell yeah.
And maybe wake up in 30 years when we actually might have hoverboards and flying shoes. Or flying shoes, you know what I mean.
I legit you're gonna say when Project Batman is actually released.
Oh.
I was worried. I was so worried that was where he was going with that joke. And I was just like, no. Don't put that evil on us.
No, in 30 years, it's our kids, and they're doing Project Batman Reborn.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, this really is Hill Valley.
Hell Valley.
Ah, fuck. It means I'll need to have a kid. I gotta message my girlfriend. It's like, girlfriend, I know we said we weren't gonna, but we need to have a kid. It's for a podcast.
I told Emily recently, like, well, I mean, she's known all along. I have no interest in having kids, but we were talking about school shootings and stuff. And I was saying how, like, we're actually very lucky in Richmond. Like, there has not been, like, a major school shooting despite, like, violence everywhere else in the city and stuff. But as soon as there is, that's when I'm ready to have kids, baby. All right, that I sound like an evil person if you
God.
guys don't burst out laughing at that.
Oh man.
Their purpose has been fulfilled.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap this up. Everyone, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
I am Ken Edwards. I am on Twitter and Instagram at Kenfluencer. That's Ken with 2 N's. Listen to the Alex Jonestown Massacre. That is my punk rock band. Watch the ACAB Summer video on YouTube. And in the vein of Project Batman Reborn, we should have something out by the end of the year, hopefully. Something new.
That's what I'm hoping for. We'll get
Oh,
sneak peeks out as we can do them.
Yeah, for sure.
I meant Alex Jonestown Massacre, much like Project Batman,
Oh,
should have an EP out by the end of the year. But I'm not going to make that promise.
And I'm Vincent Otterbray. I have nothing to add about myself or what I do except for my fucking ridiculous Godzilla collection that you can see part of behind me.
You got a sweet cosplay Instagram account?
Oh yeah, I do have that, but I haven't posted anything on it in literally months. But it's at Evil Otto Jr. Cosplayer if you want to go look at my cosplay stuff. But yeah, like I said, I haven't posted anything on there in forever because just cons haven't been a thing. They're starting to come back, but now I don't have the energy to go back to one.
That's honest.
So I have one planned in like November.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, we're going to NecoCon in Hampton in November because that's one of my favorite ones, and it's relatively close compared to where most of them all seem to be.
Yeah.
Nice. Sean, are you making dinner?
Yes, I have not eaten today.
All right. So Sean wants to plug his dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug spaghetti on behalf of Sean. Would you guys like some?
Yeah, just mail it to me.
Send it in the email with the audio for this episode.
Sean, what's your spaghetti policy? Just eating a loose bag of spaghetti out of a Ziploc bag, just eating it with his hands.
Oh, we
Hey,
got
Otto, do you,
baby?
Oh shit.
Otto, do you think you could compose a score for that spaghetti?
Yes. All right. So I'm thinking sort of like definitely like an experimental soundtrack that's mostly just like sound effects, like and just none of that's picking up on mic, but
Oh
yeah,
no, I hear it.
I heard it.
yeah, but just different like experimental soundtracks. Just do like a weird like kind of ASMR thing, and then claim it's music, and then win like a couple of Grammys for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an alternate cut with the chicken dance music.
Perfect.
All right, guys, I love you both. I need to go to sleep now.
All right, love you guys. Y'all have fun.
Love you guys. Take care. And did either of y'all get a great Batman Immortal inspired quote from our new movie Space Jam Legacy? That we made by ourselves.
Nice one, LeBron.